I am Nicole Elizabeth, and this episode is hosted by Wyld Wynd, which is an organization that is motivated to help newly founded nonprofits in general, really build their base foundation so that way we have more nonprofits out in this world, and we have all of their passionate, caring missions out there ready to go. And Wyld Wynd is, like I said, we're there to support them and make sure that they build that foundation. We want them to survive. We want them to fulfill their mission.
Okay. My name is Andrea, and I am the HR and Outreach Director for the Family Crisis Center. It is located in Porterville. We are primarily a domestic violence agency. We assist with domestic violence restraining orders. We have an emergency shelter. We provide counseling services for victims of domestic violence. We also provide group services like batterers intervention, child abuse intervention, anger management, nurturing parenting. We do a lot of outreach with the homeless in Porterville as well.
Very good, Andrea. I didn't know that all of that existed there, so kudos to you. I'm Penny DeJarnatt, and I am here today in a twofold. I do have my own business, run my own business regarding seniors and everything that they need. And then I also volunteer with Senior Care Organization that does the exact same thing my business does. So we, through Senior Care Organization, any seniors in the Tulare Kings County area can call into the office. And if they need help shopping, if they need if their yard has gotten away from them, if they need a ramp built because they're now in a wheelchair, whatever needs they might have, if they need a trip, ride to the doctor, they can call into the senior care office, and all of this will be arranged for them. And if they have no financial ability, it's provided free of charge to them. So it's a very good outreach for seniors. And I'm hoping to spread the word and get more awareness so that more people are able to utilize these services.
This is how I met Penny, was through Senior Care. I have helped out quite a few seniors go grocery shopping and do some of their necessities. And I have to say that it is probably one of my favorite volunteer things to do. These people are filled with the best stories, and you really just get to spend quality time with a diverse group of people, and it's really fascinating. I need to do it more often, and I am going to push out there that if anybody wants to help out these senior citizens, just do it. It is so much fun, and sometimes they really just need to be heard, and they need an advocate. And even if it's you communicating to somebody that they're working with, like for instance, I had somebody that didn't quite understand the new way that insulin, or I think she was trying to get her sticks, and she didn't understand what the pharmacist was trying to tell her. But she had been communicating to me all day. It took her 3 hours to explain it to me. But you can help them out, and you don't have to be, you just have to be there. That's all that they really need. So thank you, Penny, for that. And Andrea for that. I can't wait to hear. I want everybody to know about your background. But for right now, we are going to ask Mary if she can introduce herself.
My name is Mary Martinez. I'm with Mothers United Against Gang Violence. I'm the founder of that group. And originally we started this 3 months after my son was murdered here in Porterville, California. And he's my why. God really put it in my heart to advocate against gang violence and get other families that had lost children in our area and sister communities to come on board with us and become members.
Now I am going to ask you guys a tidbit of why you do what you do and any specific programs that are running right now, like you're working on today, that could use support or volunteers. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. This is just a short opportunity to let people know what you guys are doing, where you're at, who you serve, and how the community can be a part of that. All right. So, Andrea, if you could please let everybody know what is, I love this. How did you get your Zoom background? Where did that come from?
Okay, so my Zoom background is representing for Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month, which is all month February. I know we're at the tail end, but we are members of the California Partnership to End Domestic Violence, and they put out a message to youth. I know I shared it with Porterville High School and a bunch of the other high schools here, with teachers that I knew, to see if they would want to try to submit stuff. But this is the artwork from the youth that did the logo for Teen Dating Violence, and it is United for Healthy Relationships.
That I think is so absolutely wonderful. If you take the opportunity to get to learn more about that, anybody that's out there, a lot of these teens only know what they know, so they don't understand necessarily what a healthy relationship looks like or how it should be, and it should be respected. And so understanding how that gets, that's all they know, and that's how they're going to live the rest of their life until we have the opportunity to go in there and mentor them or give them guidance and kind of show them, this way versus this way might be a little bit healthier. Is there anything program wise right now, Andrea, that you are working on that you could use community help with? Or is there a program that is special to your heart right now that we should know about?
We're still kind of on lockdown. So we're not doing a whole lot of in person, but we are starting to get back into doing a lot of outreach with the street homeless here in Porterville. We had to stop for a little bit just because of the way that the orders were, and we normally go out with Richard Osborne and Virginia Osborne, and just to keep everybody safe, we decided to put that on hold. But we did get some funding, and we are actually going out on the 2nd, and we're going to be giving out sleeping bags and what I think they're called Lucy lights. They're solar lights, and they can charge a phone from it. It's pretty cool. And I believe we got some food as well. So we're going to start doing that as of this month, and we're going to try to go every month. So if anybody would like to put together like hygiene bags, we could always use hygiene bags to go take out to the homeless. We are trying to keep our group small just because, COVID, but that is kind of the main thing that's been we haven't been able to do. We've been able to provide all of our counseling services, remotely, but going out and helping out those out at the river, it's been difficult.
What goes in a hygiene bag?
Toothpaste, toothbrush, soap, baby wipes. I know it sounds odd, but baby wipes help out a lot because they're out there and they don't have a lot of stuff. What else have we put in there? Feminine hygiene products. That's a major thing to think about for the homeless because they don't have access to that. And we don't get a whole lot. So giving out like, a box of tampons is like huge.
We used to put like socks in there also. Just
Yeah,
things that they
socks.
can carry lightly. I know that we were
Beanies,
working on maybe getting them some
gloves.
Band-Aid. Yes. Yeah. And then you said on March 2nd you're going out there?
Yeah, during the day, myself and our permanent supportive case manager, Aaron, and Richard Osborne, who's on our board of directors. And I think his wife, Virginia, is going as well. She's our LCSW.
Okay, so what you really need are supplies
Yeah,
for these hygiene bags.
we have enough for this trip because we did get some money. So we were able to purchase a lot of the stuff that we need, but we're going to try to go out once a month. So that's us if, getting stuff, if we have additional funds where we can spend on that. It's difficult
Okay.
because most of our grants are tailored for victims of domestic violence. So that
Right.
can only go to that. And unless a street homeless specifically states that they are a victim of domestic violence, it's hard to provide those services.
Okay, all right, that makes a ton of sense. Okay, but for future use, if anybody wanted to donate to you, how would they donate either funds or materials and supplies?
So our website does have a link to, so you can donate that way remotely if you want, or you can send a check to Family Crisis Center. Also items, they would just need to call in to our agency and say, hey, I have, these items that I would like to donate. And then we can let them know, okay, this is a good time to come down. We do have staff at the office. So it's pretty easy. They can always call our main line, which is 559-781-7462. And then just follow the prompts for, I think they press 0 and that'll get them to the program advocate, and the program advocate can give them a little bit more information.
Okay, all right, that's awesome. I did put that phone number in the feed in case anybody's interested in that. And then what website are you referring to?
To the Family Crisis Center one, I can give that to you. It's ccfamilycrisis.org. You have social media as well. We have a Facebook account and Instagram. So we do share a lot of stuff on there.
Okay. All right, awesome. We can also put those links out there if anybody is interested in following up and learning more about the Family Crisis Center. That would be fantastic. This seems like it's really small, but when you don't have anything at all to your name, when you are in that situation, small things like this really make a big impact in how they feel about themselves, that somebody actually cares for them. And we want to make sure that like I always say, that our people are taken care of. So if you have the opportunity to donate funds, it doesn't matter if it's $5. Realistically, you spend $5 on your Starbucks drink. That's $5 can buy arm deodorant, toothpaste, toothbrush, and a small bag, or even some feminine hygiene products. And that's all for $5. Like, that's it. That's all it takes.
And it's tax deductible. So
Right.
like you get a donation slip and you put how much money your donation was worth. And when you do your taxes, you take that.
Right. Right. And it's so do you guys send out letters to your donors after you've received their donation?
Yes, as long as they fill out like a donation slip and we have their information, then yes, we can send out letters. I know that Matt is currently working on sending out donation letters to everybody that we receive. We were even doing that for our thrift store donors as well while it was open. We just got a new place actually.
Yay. Where's that at?
It just closed escrow. It's on 30 North Main. It's near the new district attorney's office.
Oh,
And
okay.
so we're getting it all ready, and we are hoping to open back up in April. As long as everything gets done, we're pretty excited.
All right. And so then I kind of know how that works, but I don't know if everybody knows how that works. So tell us, if you're opening a thrift store, what does that exactly mean for your nonprofit?
So we've had a thrift store.
Okay.
It was located at 88 East Mill, but we sold the building because it was a little too small for us. It didn't have enough usable space. So luckily we found this place, and when it's open, the victims that go to our shelter, they're given a voucher. So they go shopping for the clothes that they had to leave behind for free. Also, the funds from the thrift store also help fund the shelter with matches and different things like that. So we're very excited about being able to open back up.
That is super exciting. You'll have to come on What's Brewing afterwards so we can announce that, you know, it's time to go in there and go shopping. That just makes me super excited. I can't. Yeah, that's excellent. All right. Do you have, ladies, Mary, Penny, anybody, any of our viewers, do you have any questions for Andrea at all? No. Okay. Well, we do have your information in the feed. And if anybody has any questions when you're watching later, please reach out to myself and I can connect you with Andrea. You can send either one of us a message on Facebook, and we will make sure that you get the direct information, or you can call the phone number 559-781-7462 to receive the information on how to make a donation. All right. Thank you so much, Andrea, for that information and your lovely Zoom background. Can you email that to me?
I can, yes.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Beautiful. Okay. Penny, go ahead and elaborate on why you are here today.
Well, I did have one quick question for Andrea first, because I had to unmute. Andrea, I know you're located in Porterville. Are you serving outside the Porterville area, or is your organization basically just focused on Porterville?
No, we can provide services for Tulare County. They would just need to contact us. I know before COVID, we would go out to a lot of the rural communities. We would go out to Terabella and, you know, those far out places, because their options are like Bakersfield or us.
Right.
So, and a lot of times they don't know that we exist. So we've been trying to put out the word that we're here to help. If we can't provide the assistance, we try to hook them up with somebody that can provide the assistance that they're looking for.
Very good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
For what you're doing. I'm Penny DeJarnatt, and I'm representing the Senior Care Organization of Tulare Kings County. It is an organization specifically to assist seniors, and its main focus is resources. And there are other organizations that help seniors as well as any age group with a lot of needs. However, the resources available to seniors seem to be secret. It's amazing how difficult it is to come by the information that they need. A lot of the focus is to help seniors maintain their independence and remain in their own home. And they do need resources in order to accomplish that. If they're not being able to cook or clean or get to the doctors anymore, then they're really suffering. And especially during this time in our history, they're so isolated, they're so lonely, and their mental health is taking a beating, as well as their physical health. So just having a phone number to reach out to for a conversation is huge. And then, of course, they're sitting there and they're now eating cereal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner because they've run out of groceries, and they just need someone to care. That's what they need. Many have families, many do not. So having worked in the senior living industry for so many years, I really realized how many open gaps there are and what a tremendous need there is. So I did join up with the senior care organization and helping them fill those gaps. The I just can't tell you the number of people that call in and they start manufacturing needs just so they have someone to talk to. And what it boils down to is they're lonely. So we do have a call center, and they are happy to talk to the person, find out what their needs are, take care of their needs, or point them in the right direction to gain the right resource to assist them with those needs. One of the major needs is those that are struggling to remain in their home because they don't know what their options are. When living in a senior community is what they need because their safety is at stake. So we can help them locate the best community for them. That could just mean moving into an apartment complex that focuses on seniors, or it could mean assisted living or something of that nature. But they're sitting at home struggling because they don't know these options. And the cost of these options is so wide varying. They see the big number and don't realize that there's other options for them, and they just need someone to help them in the right direction. So that's what we're doing. We're putting the resources for seniors in one place so they can call one location and get the help they need. That's the main focus. The upcoming need is we've been working on a virtual resource fair. Virtual is not ideal for seniors. Many of them are not tech savvy. And so doing it virtually is a real challenge. But we started moving forward with it all the same, trying to recruit their kids to get on with them so that they can all get the information at once. Even that is a challenge because of work schedules and your adult children have children of their own to get to to keep active and all of that. So it's a very, very huge challenge. Therefore, we're also planning the exact same resource fair in person, knowing that COVID may prevent us from doing it, but we're moving forward in both directions all the same. Optimistic. So we can have it, we're going to have it on May 22nd in Tulare. I can't give you the exact location yet. We have one that we're just firming up. And as soon as that is firmed up, then we will be able to let everyone know. But it will be the morning of May 22nd. And we will be bringing together all the resources that seniors would need to turn to, be it senior living communities, be it healthcare services, hospice services, whatever that is needed by a senior, that information will be gathered into one place so them and their families can come and meet people, talk to people, and gather the information that they're looking for.
Awesome. I'm excited to see what comes out of that. I know that one thing that I had helped out with was finding funding, and people don't really, honestly, they don't understand this. When you have to make a home handicap accessible, there is $500 to $1,000 worth of just fees from the city to get ramps in appropriately or doorways made bigger. And those are just permit fees. So could you only, I mean, we have to make life workable for these seniors. And it's merely, I feel like it's almost impossible sometimes because they don't know who to call. They get frustrated getting in and out. They don't have a ramp. It's hard for them to take a shower or bathe or anything like that. And senior care, I did put the hands in the community information in the feed, but I couldn't find the senior care.
Well, the senior care website is seniorcaretkc.org.
What was that? Senior care?
Seniorcaretkc.org.
TulareKingsCounty.org.
Yes.
Okay.
But it goes into the same call center. So you could use the hand community phone number. That would be just fine.
Okay. And then what is the, do you know the phone number for senior care off the top of your head?
I'm sorry, I do not.
Okay, all right. I will figure that out. I think I have it somewhere saved in my phone. And then I will put it in our feed here shortly. And so
I
if
forgot.
you want to,
Right
okay.
here next to me. Let me get it for you.
If you want to assist with helping out these senior citizens, whether it's donating funds, just like Family Crisis Center, you can donate funds or you can donate materials. So if you have had construction on your home and you have leftover supplies, we will. Penny will take them and make sure that they are given to the appropriate human beings that really, really need them. We're here to make sure that these people have a better quality of life. Nobody is ever prepared to become reliable on somebody else. And they don't want to do this. You know, I can only tell what I'm going to be like in my aging years. What I mean, I'm already stubborn. So like when I get to that age, I know that it's going to be hard for my children. So just having them still keep their pride, because you know that's important, and make sure that they're known, that they are acknowledged, and we can help them out as much as possible, as making sure that they do have the resources they need, even if it's clearing property because they don't want to be cited for not having their trees cut down or their tall grass. Anything goes a long way. So if there are any Boy Scouts out there that want to help out, senior care will take your help. Any other youth groups that want volunteer hours, senior care will work with you to do that. I know that they've used AmeriCorps in the past, making sure that people have fences, anything like that. Yeah, so
Church youth groups, Boy Scout groups, any of that, they're invaluable. They really are.
they
And
are.
I've got the phone number here. It's 559
Uh-huh.
667 9601. And it's you can volunteer in any number of ways. Like Nicole was saying, if you have extra materials, that's a little difficult to store, but we can do it. If you have time is huge. Most people have a little bit of time in their schedule. Just let it be known to the office that you have 2 hours on a Saturday, and then if somebody needs to go break, if you have the youth that are, or adults that are looking for a project to help out someone, there's always a yard to be moved, there's always a tree to be trimmed, there's always a house to be cleaned. And then there's the need of bigger companies that will help either donate their time and materials or give it at a discount to build those ramps, to reinforce a safety bar, to whatever the need happens to be. There's always those professional companies that are needed as well. You can't have a youth group build a ramp. You have to have a licensed contractor
Right.
do it. So all those kinds of things are needed as well. But it's very worthwhile and it's very heartwarming. Anybody that gets involved just will absolutely love it.
Excellent. I love, well, you know how I feel about it. I love it. It's a great program. All right, thank you. Does anybody have any questions? I know that Bert had come on and asked if this was a nonprofit, so that's why I put the link out there for you, Bert. You can check it out. It is a nonprofit. It's been, how long has Hands been around? Like 15?
Well, Hands in the community has been around for 15, 16 years or more.
15 years? Yeah.
Senior Care Organization is the partner focusing just on seniors, and it's been around for 6 years, I believe it is. So yes, they do fall under the exact same ministry, but they are two separate entities and they are nonprofits.
Right. Okay, she said thank you. And Bert, you can always, you know where to find me. If you have any other questions, I can connect you with Penny, and make sure that, again, our people are taken care of, because you know, I have a soft spot for babies, animals, and old people. That's really all my life is about. Anyways, so thank you, Penny, so much for sharing. Yes, Bert, you are correct. I'm going to have Mary come on and share with us who she is representing today. And I'm so excited to learn more about this, because I haven't actually been able to catch up with Mary and ask her my normal 20 questions. So go ahead, Mary, and reintroduce yourself, please, just in case anybody missed it in the first place, and let us know who you are here with and what you guys do.
Hey, Nicole, thank you so much for the invite. And again, my name is Mary Martinez, and I founded this group back in 2003 after my son was murdered due to gang violence. And I was living in Monterey County at the time when this occurred on a weekend visit. He'd come down to see his little girl that had pneumonia, and I lost him on that weekend. And it was heartbreaking. And I have to tell you that any parent that loses a child due to any kind of violent crime is something that is horrific, and it's long standing. You don't get over that pain. We just learn to go through it. So after much time and spent in counseling and for grieving, I would discover that I needed to take a stand and be a voice for my son, and to assist other families that had been through the similar thing that I had been through. And why? Because I don't want to see another mother lose her child. So that's how I got going. And I've been doing it for 18 years, not only in Porterville, but in Monterey County. I worked with the Time for Grieving, Debbie Aguilar, who sadly we just lost to COVID. And yeah, she just died 2 weeks ago. A very dear friend of mine. As I lived in that area, I would work there with her and advocate on the east side of Salinas, where it's a gang war city, as you know, and much, much more prominent with gang violence in that county. So everything that I learned during that journey, I brought that with me so that I could continue here in Porterville when I returned in 2008. And so we really got going then. And I reached out to families that had already lost children here. And it was really welcomed. There wasn't anything like us. So we were a support group, as well as working with youth, planning annual camping trips for our kids that are high risk. And that primarily has been my passion. And with COVID, we had to slow everything down, as you know, no contact. But we recently decided to move on forward with the coat drive and also backpack drive for children in need that are returning to school. So right now, that's what we're doing. We're raising coats and warm clothing for children in need, and also backpacks. We've already been able, with donations we've gained from the city, businesses, they've come through for us, and some of our own monies we've put toward being able to furnish all those backpacks for kids that are struggling, their families out of work, and very proud to be able to do that.
That is exciting. I saw pictures of you guys sharing some stuff. I think it was last week.
Yes, we started last week, and I'm finishing up next week. So we've hit quite a few schools, and they've been very appreciative.
That's excellent. It's I feel like right now, especially, that a lot of nonprofits had to pull back, and there's like this internal struggle, I feel, because you want to go out there and you want to do good. I mean, that's what we're all made here to do. I'm honestly, I know that God put us on this earth to do exactly what you're doing. And if you can wake up every day and you're like, okay, I know I'm supposed to be where I'm at, like, that's a blessing.
Yes.
we want to be able to get out there and do our job. And then we're being directed to not do that. But
Right.
those people, they depend on people like us.
Yes, they
And
do.
And it's not so much like the material items, it's the fact that they're being acknowledged. Like
Yeah.
they're there, and we need to make sure that they have a connection to somebody. Somebody thought about them. I
Right.
know that's huge for me. I'm gonna say thank you really quick, Mary, to your daughter. She gave me this mug.
Oh, that is so beautiful.
Okay, because I started a hiking group called Queen Bee Hiking. Okay. And I'm a single mom. I really don't ever get presents. Like it's not, like the stuff that I get goes to my kids. And that's what I live my life for, but acts of kindness like this, it like seriously made my year. It's a mug with a bee on it. But I am so proud of this mug because she went out of her way and thought about me and then dropped it off on my front door, so it's like, and I'm a very lucky, blessed girl. I can only imagine what it would feel like for somebody else who really doesn't have much
Right.
to feel like somebody thought about them. So, and especially for our youth, I think that is ginormous. So with the backpack thing, I know that you said you had supplies in there. What else have you guys done in the past, or do you have any groups now that are on the verge? Like you said, support groups earlier. Do you guys still meet? Is that something that the general public should know about? Do you
We
Zoom?
try to go out to community events to be a part of that so that we can share our story and try to reach families that are struggling with their youth and try to redirect them to the resources available in our area so that they can understand the dangers of kids joining gangs or being bullied into a gang. So many times what you find is the intimidation on school campuses that sometimes the kids won't talk about to their parents, but it's happening, and we need to get a hold of that, and we need to be able to make our kids feel safe in talking to their parents if someone is bullying them to join a gang, and young girls and boys. That
Right.
Many people tend to believe it's just young boys doing it, but it's not. There are girls also involved in gangs. So I recently had a mother reach out to me on our website, on social media, on Facebook. I've had several people reaching out to me more and more as far as trying to get me to come to their city. And I primarily have worked in Tulare County, Fresno, Madera. I've traveled out to try to give our story of what we're trying to do and hopefully gain more people to join and form their own gang intervention programs. We were really heavily involved with Step Up for many years here in Porterville, which was a wonderful strategy that they used to try to keep kids out of gangs and promoting nonviolence. And we would attend those events on the east side. And luckily, I have to say that the gang violence here lately has really diminished with all the protocol, and they really come in. Porterville has really stood up. I really give a lot of credit to our sheriff, Tulare County, Mike Boudreaux. He's developed some very positive programs, so I'm very proud of what he's done. He's always been there for our candlelight vigils that we've done annually to support our families. He's a wonderful man, and I just really respect him very much. Our city mayor, we had Cameron Hamilton. He was always a big supporter, and we really appreciated all the efforts that he put into coming out to our candlelight vigils. Martha Flores also supported us. And we've had Pastor Johnson, Pastor Frankie Olmedo. They have been outstanding as far as being there for our families families during our annual candlelight vigils. They minister over our families. And at Christmas time, it's a very difficult time for families to come together, but we do it to honor our loved ones and the love that we shared for them and it hold in our hearts. And it kind of brings us together in unity so we can lift each other up in prayer. And that's what we've done. And we've done many other things. There's been a lot that we've done that I haven't covered. We've covered Cinco de Mayos. We have gone out to even the biker celebrations we've had up in, I believe it's Reedley. We went out there to try to reach more children. And we had so many people come up to us and ask us how we got started because they had a lot of gang violence going on there as well. And they would come and ask how we got started, how they could get involved. But that's what we're looking for now. Once COVID is, slowed down and we can get out there again in the public, we'd love to have more people join us. And I wanted to mention, it's really important, we're not only involved with honoring, surviving families from gang violence, any child that's been lost to a violent crime. We want to help those families, our loved one. We want to reach out to them as well.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for that, Mary. It's a difficult thing to go through. I mean, I haven't lost a child, but in my past, I've worked with parents they have children with cancer. And that's something that no parent should ever have to go through.
Exactly.
It brings you to another level of insanity, I feel like. And I say that from the outside because I couldn't imagine being in that position and watching that happen. And a lot of people feel useless when that happens. Like, what do you do after that? And it sounds like you have some great resources or great ways to go about it. And I would love to catch up with you at another time. I built a workshop on how to grieve during the holidays. So if you want that, we can make sure that happens. And I can even teach it if that's something that
I would love to.
Okay. Yeah. We'll talk about that at another time, but I just, it popped into my head. So, is there anything right now that you could use like real help with, or how can others help you do what you're doing?
I would love for people to reach out to me through my email, marylove1027@yahoo.com. And I'm on social media under Mothers United Against Gang Violence. And they can also reach me there and ask to be a member. And they can get on that site and see everything that I've done. I cover everything from birthdays, the anniversaries are very difficult. I reach out to people and we send prayers to them and lift them up. And I also have this a line of communication where that people are wanting to know about victims of crime and what resources they can utilize from that program. So also Crime Stoppers and how to have people turn in any evidence that they may have about a crime so that the cold cases will get resolved. Many, many families that I've met have cold cases. They've gone nowhere. And it's such a heartbreaking thing for these families to never know who murdered their children. I have a couple of mothers right now in my group that have yet to have their case resolved. It took our case 4.5 years to get to the trials. And I was working at Soledad Correctional Facility at the time I lost my son. So you can imagine going back to that environment was very, very difficult. But, I gave it to God because I ended up being used in there. I developed treatment groups for inmates. And what I did was we did a lot of role playing, and it actually gave me a lot of information about how they even get into gangs, which I never really was clear on why they do what they do. So I learned a lot from them. And my daughter was in leadership of Porterville. I don't know if she shared that with you. I was able to get letters from these inmates that were writing to children to reach out to them in junior high level, and brought those letters. Of course, she didn't give the names because we have to honor that, but they were able to read the letters directly coming from the inmates themselves that had actually wanted to reach them in a way they'd understand that prison life is no life and joining a gang is no life, and trying to keep them from ever going there. So I used all of that leverage working with them to try to help other children understand you don't want to go there,
Right.
you know?
Right.
So it was really something how God used me in there, and it helped with my group and the research that I've done to help other families.
Right. Right.
Uh-huh.
That is quite amazing. I came from the Department of Corrections myself. I've worked there also. And when you hear these stories, they start out at 5, 6 years old, 7 years old, and to know that that's when they were targeted to come in to this kind of life.
Yes.
And like I was saying with Andrea earlier, when that's all you know, you don't know any better than what's presented to you at that time of your life. If you don't have outside resources coming in and giving you the information or the prompts to live a healthy lifestyle or a healthier lifestyle, you don't know. So you grow up thinking this is how it's supposed to be.
Exactly.
And we really need to get out there to younger than junior high, and really show these kids that, there are people who target, and it's disgusting, but there are people who target them at that age because they know no better.
It's true. It happens, and it's very, very heartbreaking. But that's where we've really focused on in trying to educate. We set up our booths. I have information that I get from the Sheriff's Department. We help them with resources where they can go and get counseling. That's what we do when we go out to the events in the community. And I really want to say that I can't wait till we can get going again. There's such a need. And this young lady had reached out to me from Delano, who just lost her daughter to gang violence in Delano just 2 weeks ago. And I'm going to be attending that funeral and hopefully do a vigil with her in that city, because it's they have a lot of drive-bys going on right now as we speak. And she said they don't have many resources of people working with these type of youth that are running with gangs. So it's pretty heavy when you're living 30 minutes away and you're learning this, And she said, Mary, we don't have a lot of support here. I was really shocked to hear that. But they don't step up. They don't have Boys and Girls Club. I don't know. I asked, my goodness, about your churches. Are they not pulling together? That's the first thing that came to my mind, because we utilized ours here. We put on workshops. I brought a gentleman from Los Angeles, a behavioral specialist, to give a workshop to not only parents, but children. They were brought in, and to develop better communication skills and to learn why they were drifting and getting involved with the wrong crowd. And it was a super workshop. I'd like to be able to do that again in other areas that are lacking.
Yeah, and you would think that, there are 2 institutions right there. So I will follow up with you on that also, because I do know that there are programs in that area. We just need to make sure that people have access to that. So I'll email you on that as well. I'm super excited. Not the fact that we have to do what we do, but the fact that we have women who are taking care of business. you know, it boggles my mind, you know, but if it wasn't for people like you ladies going out there and making sure, I say this all the time, that like, what would our world be like if we didn't have people who we love so freely,
Right.
you
We
know,
have to
and
reach them. We have to have a voice and take a stand. It's important.
right. Everybody needs an advocate. And even in like, I'm a blessed human being. Like I feel like I've had a great life and I get excited to wake up every day, but everybody has bad days and everybody needs to know that like you have that support behind you. Really, really important to have your squad behind you, or your group of leading ladies, or your best, like my best friends are, I have a lot of best friends, but a good portion of them are men. And like you mentioned, seeing that other perspective and having that come in, and it's just, all of you guys, your work is phenomenal, and I can't wait to learn more about each of you, and who works with you and who supports you, and hopefully we'll get you guys some volunteers out there, maybe some donations. I will share this out on our Brave Volunteers Facebook
Great.
page. And then Mary, do you have a website, or is there a
Yes.
Facebook page?
I have a Facebook page and it's under Mary Love 1027 / Mothers United. They can go there and they can find my page. And
Okay, all right.
actually, I had a page that was mothersunited.org, but I need to update that page. And as soon as I do that, then people can I also come on that page. I wanted to share something really quickly.
Okay.
The other young lady was speaking about helping the homeless. We've done that as well. We've done annual coat drives for the homeless through our church, and our pastor has assisted me in getting those coats delivered out to the riverbank where they're all, situated. And also what I was hoping to do after the warm clothing drive, we were including socks, people that may want to donate socks to these, people. They desperately need socks. And I thought, how much better, how much greater would that be to have warm clothing and socks for them? I would love for them to drop them off here or at another location, Franklin and Associates on West Olive. They have a box for me. They keep there and they assist me. And they can take their, once they start their spring cleaning and they find things they can't use anymore, we'd love to have that for the homeless. And like I said, any socks that people might be able to purchase, we would really appreciate that because we would like to take some out to them.
Okay, all right. That would be great if we could all collaborate on getting
a
some
little bit
items
of
out.
everything.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Well, I guess my old Girl Scout troop, we always did the Operation Christmas. I can't remember what it's called, but we would fill up a Operation Shoebox, something like that. And we would send it to somebody else. And then I was sitting there thinking, but why aren't we doing this here? Like, why don't we have all of these shoe boxes filled with stuff and keep it here? And the shoe stores, they will give you the shoe boxes. So you don't even have to worry about that. You just have to get everything inside and you can buy a 20 pack of socks and 20 people have a brand new pair of socks. So it's just, these are little things that anybody can really do. Like I said, you spend $5 at Starbucks, you can give any one of these ladies $5 or $1.66 or however you split up that $5. And then, just, it's so easy to just do good and give $5 or buy buy an extra thing of socks when you take the kids out to go clothes shopping or whatever. Anyways, I do have almost everybody's information here in the feed. And ladies, if you have any flyers or events or needs lists or anything like that, let me know. I can put it up on my website. I can direct link it to your website, and make sure that people really understand that there is a need.
There is.
And there's also still funding coming in. So although, yes, the world was kind of put on hold this last year, money was not. There are still funds available for almost, and I think that a lot more funds actually came in this last year than we had expected, because a lot of people couldn't physically go out and donate their time. And a lot of people had, who do work out in outreach, had more income then, because we didn't have to spend money on gas or doing all these little things. So they were available to do all of this other monetary stuff. See, this is the best part about Wyld Wynd, or what's brewing, is that we like to keep it natural and organic, and we want everybody to see what our lives are like, which is super important, because we all work in nonprofit, but we're often running every which way, and we don't have a moment to connect with the people unless that's specifically what we're doing for that day. But I want people to know who we are and what we do, and what kind of conversations we would have at the breakfast table on Saturday morning with our friends, Zooming.
Right.
So I want to say thank you to Andrea and Penny and Mary. You guys have been excellent. And thank you for all of the information you've shared today. I can't wait to learn more. And ladies, if you need help, let us know. I will connect you three on Facebook Messenger, so that way we can share some ideas and fill those gaps. Like, we need to make sure that our people, again, are taken care of. I think that needs to be my new slogan: take care of your people.
There you go. I love it. All right.
All right. And do you ladies have any other questions for each other before we log off today?
No, I think you pretty much covered everything for me. I did want to add one thing. Anyone interested and that wants to donate the warm clothing and socks, they can also include a check to Mothers United Against Gang Violence and send it to the address 843 West Kenai Avenue, and it is tax deductible. We can mail back a receipt for them. Okay. We would love that, so we can help these families that are in desperate need. And It's still cold out there, and it would be really nice to be able to take those items out there to them that they can use. And like I've done it with my pastors, they've been really wonderful, and they'll take them out there with me. And so we have a way of doing it, and wearing our masks, we'll go out there and do what we got to do.
And just so everybody knows, all of us take donations of masks, hand sanitizer, anything that will help us do our job. So if you have a large company and you see that you have the opportunity to donate that, all of us will take whatever we can to make sure that we can get out there to people. Heck, I have somebody who regularly donates granola bars to me.
Right.
Because they know that in my trunk, I have everything we need to get something done. And sometimes that means feeding people.
That's super important, because a lot of the time we do the hygiene bags and they ask, is there food in there? So we have been incorporating granola bars, beef jerky, that kind of stuff as well, because
it's non-perishable.
there's something for them to snack on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that is like, that you want to make sure it's something that's not going to go bad. So if it's fruit strips, dehydrated fruit, nuts sometimes, but you have to realize that we do have elderly normally can't eat hard things. So just think about the type of food that won't go bad and isn't difficult to eat. Like they don't have to heat it up, they don't have to keep it cold, and it has an expiration date of 6 months from now. Most of the time it gets eaten before that, but or if you give canned food, make sure they
top. Yeah,
the tops have the tab on it, so they don't need a can opener, right? So and these are all little things that are super helpful. Anyways, I'm sure we could all go on about how we need help for our people, but I'm going to conclude today. We've had a great set of questions on here. So ladies, if you want to take a look later and add some more specifics to that chat, that would be fantastic. And I will share it. And then Mary, you and I need to be friends on Facebook. I sent a request. You just need to click yes.
I feel. Thank you so very much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Been a pleasure.
Oh, thank you. All right, ladies, I'm going to log off of Facebook Live, but if you could stay on for a few more minutes, that would be excellent. Bye, everybody. Have a great day, and thank you for joining us.
Have a blessed day, Nicole.